Hello, tender-hearted consumers. Thank you for joining me for Uniconfessions. Today I'm going to be winding a warp for my loom while I speak because there's only so much time in a day. And before we begin, I think it's really important that I tell you that I'm not a doctor. I have not done extensive research in this field except for my own experience. So the topic I want to talk about today is pharmaceuticals. And pharmaceuticals are widely used. A lot of people are on them. I don't know the exact numbers. I'm not going to look them up. It bums me out. But I was on pharmaceuticals for 5 years. I don't know how to talk about this with you guys. The main thing is that I don't think that anyone should be on antidepressants. I don't think antidepressants are necessary. I don't think they're good. And I think all they're doing are putting a band-aid on a real problem, which is not you. It's not your fault that you got depressed, okay? If you have depression or anxiety, that is a normal reaction to the way that things are. You can be happy without meds. Find out before you do anything, before you even consider getting off your meds. Find out what your true purpose is. So the first thing is to find out what your heart is telling you. And it's going to be dulled while you're on the medication. It's radical to grow a garden. It's radical to have self-love. Because society is fucked up. And only then can you begin to analyze your drug usage. Pharmaceuticals are a prison for the mind. It's almost like saying, I don't know how to feed myself, so I'm going to go into prison where they'll beat me. Seriously. It's like you are doling out a majority of your emotional senses just in order to not feel sad. And the reason why you feel sad is not because you have a chemical brain imbalance. That is true, but that doesn't just happen. It's made through thoughts. So if you have negative thoughts, think of, this is basic neuroscience, and it's not hard to understand. And people are always saying, oh, the power of positive thinking. And when you're depressed, you're like, fuck you. The power of positive thinking, fuck you. It's not just thinking positive, but it is. It literally is. And I'm sorry to be the one to tell you this. I am, because it's so funny, we want a pill to make ourselves happy. But is that not harder? Is a drug addiction easier than thinking happy thoughts? It is if you're not being true to your true self. Your true self is rebelling. It's saying this society isn't right. I don't want to go to work for 8 hours a day. I don't want to buy a new car because I can't get to work without it. I don't want to rent a house that's expensive that I can't live in because I'm at work all the time. It's horrible, yes. But that's why we have to change the world. And we can't do that if everyone good is on drugs. Because those drugs are, in my experience, hollowing you out. They're dulling your psychic abilities. They're making you into a shell of a person. And I understand the comfort that they bring. I clung to my pills for 5 years. I took an average of 1 milligram a day of Klonopin. I still swoon when I think of Klonopin, and it's been years. I know the benefits of drugs, and I'm telling you it's not worth it. So if you're looking to get off of your pharmaceuticals, you've got to look inside your heart. You've got to look and see what it is about your life that is making your heart rebel. And if you can do that, then you can then consider to get off of them. And do not just stop cold turkey. You can damage yourself permanently that way. Do not do that. What you need to do is find a drug dealer, or if you're good with small powders and scales, measure out tiny doses. Like, so if you're taking 20 milligrams, move it down to 18.5, and then take that for 3 weeks, and then move it down to, 15 or 16 or something, and take that. So do it in these small amounts, and what you do is you crush up the pill, put it on a scale, crush it up, and then measure out the smaller increment that you want and repackage that. You can get vegan capsules at like Whole Foods or Vitamin Cottage. Or any like health food store. You should be able to find capsules that you can then put the powder back into. And your doctor is going to tell you, they'll either say they don't want you to get off the pills, or they don't think you're ready, or they'll tell you just to have the doses. But that's a terrible idea. It's too fast. Especially if you've been on them for a long time, your body and your brain are addicted. And so you need to take it really slow. But I was the most miserable person I've ever met. Okay, I was like really sad. I couldn't be happy for a single thing. I was sad for years. And I'm happy now. I'm happy every day. I live in a state of near constant joy. And I did that through hard work, through changing my thoughts. You can do it. You can be happy without drugs. I'll tell you how. In addition to getting off of pharmaceuticals, you can change your thinking. And it's not exactly easy. But whenever you have a negative thought, you just turn it around and you think the exact opposite positive thought. And whatever you believe is real. Belief makes real. So, and that's what I'm here to tell you, is that if you think of these positive thoughts, if you do not allow yourself to think negative thoughts and instead you think positive thoughts, it'll take a year. But after that year, you will actually feel happy. And you're gonna say, Nicole, you're deluded. You, are just faking it. But the thing is, you really do have to fake it till you make it. I'm not faking it. I faked being happy for a long time. And you know what? Faking being happy was better than being sad. My life was better than when I was sad, when I was faking being happy. And so I kept it up. And it took probably about a year before I really started to experience joy. And I'm not telling you that, you're gonna never be bummed out again. But if you live in the light and you go and you're on the path to joy goes infinitely up. And so I don't want anybody to be, offended or feel disempowered, because I understand why people are on drugs. I understand the benefits that they do offer, and I'm here to tell you that there's a better solution. You can do this. You have just as much potential as someone who's wildly successful. That's one of my sayings. Thank you for your attention. Unicorn bless.